Hey guys, welcome back to the DAHKTUBE. And before we get started, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Now, today we'll be doing the introduction for circles. A round plane figure whose boundary consists of points equal distant from the center. Let's say this red dot is the center of our circle and this is our circle. So from the center, going each direction is the same distance to the circumference of the circle. Going right around. So now we're going to do parts of a circle. Now the first part of the circle we're going to do is the radius. Now the radius is the distance from the center of the circle to its boundary. So if this is the center of the circle, then the radius is from the center of the circle to the boundary. Now the radius doesn't necessarily have to go that way. The radius could have been here, here, here. So any one of these could have been the radius. I'm going to call that the radius, R. Now the radius is equal to half of the diameter. So the next part of the circle here is the chord. So the chord is a line segment whose endpoints are on a circle. So for example, let's say this is one endpoint here, and we're drawing a line segment here. So the endpoints are on the circle. So this is what you call a chord. Now, the diameter is a chord that passes through the center of the circle. So if you remember from previously, the chord is a line segment whose endpoints are on the circle. So that means if we have the center of the circle here, the diameter is a chord, which is a line segment that touches the endpoints of the circumference. So it has to go through the middle of the circle. And the diameter is equal to twice the radius. So the secant is a line that intersects a circle in 2 points. So let's say we draw a line. So this would be a secant because it intersects the circle here and it intersects the circle here. So this is a secant. So the tangent is a line that intersects a circle in exactly 1 point. So it would touch this circle at 1 point, which would be here. So this is a tangent. So now we're going to do the area of a circle. So the area of a circle is the region occupied by a circle in 2D. So let's say this is a circle. The area would be all that is occupied on the inside of this circle. The area of the circle is the total surface area. Now the formula for area of a circle is area is equal to pi r squared, where pi is usually 3.14 or 22/7, and r is the radius. Okay, so let's say, for example, you want to find the area of the circle below. So here, you know that this here would be the radius because it is starting from the center of the circle and touching the circumference. So that means our radius is equal to 5 meters. So if we use our formula for area, which is area is equal to pi r squared, let's say we're using pi as 22/7. So that would be 22/7 times 5 squared. Now we know that 5 squared is 25, so that's 22/7 times 25. If you put that in your calculator, you're going to get 78.57, and area is measured in squared units. So because it is meters here, it would be meters squared. So let's say we're given this circle here and we're told to find the area. So here we know that this is the diameter. So the diameter is equal to 14. But we know that the radius is equal to half of the diameter. So that means the radius is equal to half times 14. That means the radius is 7 meters. So again, using the area is equal to pi r squared, and we're going to use pi as 22 over 7 times the radius, which is 7 squared. So that is saying 22 over 7 times 49. So we can say 7 into 7, 1, 7 into 49, that's 7, and that's 22 times 7, which gives us 154. And again, area is in squared units, so that's meters squared. So let's say we have this example here. What is the radius if the area of a circle is 314 centimeters squared? So we know the formula for area of a circle is pi r squared. We know that pi is either 22 over 7 or 3.14. So we're going to use pi as 22 over 7. So the area, so we substitute for 314, which is equal to pi, which is 22 over 7. And we don't know what the radius is. That is what we're trying to find. So that's times r squared. So now we can transpose by saying multiply both sides by 7. So the 7's cancel in the denominator. That's going to give us 2198 is equal to 22 times r squared. So in order to get rid of the 22, we divide both sides by 22. So that's those cancel. So we're going to get 99.91 is equal to r squared. In order to get r by itself, we have to find the square root of both sides. So that means the radius is equal to 9.996 centimeters. I guess you could round it off to approximately 10 centimeters. And that would be an answer. So now we're going to do circumference, otherwise known as the perimeter of a circle. So this is the complete distance around the circle. Now the formula for perimeter or circumference is C is equal to 2 pi r, or C is equal to pi d. So let's say we have this example here. Calculate the circumference of the circle below. So here we know that the radius here is 5 meters. So using the formula, C is equal to 2 pi r. We're going to use pi as 22 over 7 again. So it's 2 times 22 over 7 times 5. If you put that in your calculator, you're going to get 31.43 meters. Now that would be an answer. So let's say we want to calculate the circumference of the circle below. So here the diameter would be 14. So we could use a formula that says C is equal to pi d. We could also use a formula that says C is equal to 2 pi r, where we could divide the 14 by 2 to get the radius, which would be 7. But let's use this one. So let's say, so that would be C is equal to pi, 22 over 7, times 14. So that's 77.1, 7 into that 2, so that will give you 44 meters. Let's say we want to try this just to see if we get by the same answer. So that would be C is equal to 2 times 22 over 7 times 7. So the 7s would cancel and you'd get back 44 meters. So last example, if the circumference of a circle is 30 centimeters, what is the area? So the first thing you want to do, because they tell you what the circumference is, you can write the circumference formula. So you'd use C is equal to 2 pi r. So now you have the circumference as 30, so you put the 30 here, equal to 2 times pi, which is 22 over 7. You don't know what r is, so that means you're solving for r. So that's 30 is equal to 44 over 7 times r. So we can multiply both sides by 7 to get rid of the 7 here. So 7 times 30, that's 210, is equal to 44 r. You can divide both sides by 44. That means r would be equal to 4.773 centimeters. So now, because we have r, we know that the formula for area is equal to pi r squared. So that would be 22 over 7 times r, which is 4.773, and that's squared. That would be 22 over 7 times, that's 22.78. And that will give you 71.6, so rounding it off, centimeters squared. So that's all for today. I'll see you guys next time on the DAHKTUBE.